raise a soldier, not a fool. Hey, yeah. That's a difference between me and you. Yeah.
J.Cole addresses the Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef on Port Antonio. Real ones, get on in here and let me know what y'all think. I, like most people, have been waiting for this type of response from J.Cole ever since he apologized for 7 Minute Drill way back in April. For all the uninitiated, when Kendrick Lamar dropped his Like That verse on Future and Metro Boomin's song, we thought that it was aimed at Drake and J. Cole as well. He's like, fuck the big three, it's just big me, nigga, bomb. You know, when we were all sitting here thinking like, wow, this is gonna be the highly touted battle, the clash of the three titans, famous big three. It was going to be one of the biggest beefs in rap history. And I just remember at the time feeling so giddy for this, feeling so excited. And then like literally about 48 hours later, a couple days later, J. Cole drops Might Delete Later, and at the back of Might Delete Later is the song 7 Minute Drill. And on 7 Minute Drill, it's J. Cole going at Kendrick Lamar, and I was like, wow, like this is insane. Like I was waiting for Drake to drop, but it was really like Cole was the first person to really fire back. And it kind of blew my mind because from what I know and from the sources that I have, Kendrick Lamar and J. Cole are pretty on great terms. So I wouldn't have thought that this would have happened so quickly, and it really felt like it was going to end in just some rap shit. 2 days later, J. Cole's performing at Dreamville Fest and he apologizes. And needless to say, this put the entire rap game, it kind of flipped it on its head. And I was one of those people that was flipped because I was sitting there like, what the heck? Are you really apologizing? Like, and Cole was basically saying, yo, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to talk shit about To Pimp a Butterfly. I didn't mean to say all this stuff like that. People clowned him. Even I made a video, not clowning him, but just being like, yo, what is going on? Like, you really apologizing? I remember I was sitting there on my bed, I was writing my journal, and I saw the TikTok, I saw this had happened, and I just could not believe it. And I was just floored that he would actually do something like this. But then as the days went on, as the beef went on, as the cycles started, as the shots went back and forth, as push-ups dropped, and Euphoria dropped, and Meet the Grams, and Family Matters, and all of these dish songs dropped, what became increasingly clear was that J. Cole had made the right decision. He had made the right decision to take himself out of a beef that was going to wreak havoc on his own mental health and his own legacy and his own anxiety. Personally, like, I feel like it would have been exciting to see the three of them go at it, but as someone that knows Cole, I don't know him personally that well, but like that knows Cole and that knows like how much he cares about this craft and knows how much he cares about the position that he's currently in, I don't think that this was worth like really venturing into. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be in the comments, and let me know what y'all think. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to be in the comments that are going to be saying that Cole still is not going to do anything for them because of him backing out of this rap beef. And personally, I feel like, you know what? That's up to y'all to say, because I really think that he made the right decision. So on Port Antonio, he's effectively addressing this on wax. I would have absolutely loved if Cole would do an interview with B-Dot or Elliot Wilson or shout out to Jeremy Heck. That'd be pretty fire. That'd be great. Speedy Mormon, Charlemagne. There's a number of people that I would love for Cole to talk to, but he hasn't done that. Or maybe Regine Cho. She'd be great. There'd be so many people that could get this interview that could also add some context to the bars that we're about to go through, but rappers don't do interviews anymore, and that's for a whole nother story, for a whole nother video. But anyways, I feel like the beat itself is a beautiful flip of Jay-Z's Dead Presidents, which is also a sample of Lonnie Smith's A Garden of Peace. And Cole just raps 2 straight verses on it in typical Forest Hills Drive, Villamatic prose, eloquent, lyrical, full of flows, effectively a rapper's verse. Real ones, let me know what your favorite bars are in it, but in the interest of time, I'm only gonna get to the ones that have to do with the beef. We have right here, this couplet right here. I've seen good, I've seen bad, had my melanin mocked. I've seen lifelong friends turn to devilish ops. I was Mike in red leather trying to tell him to stop. You better beat it before you see the heavy metal get popped. Had my melanin mocked is similar to the fight that I was getting into with everyone when Kendrick Lamar was calling out Drake's blackness. And I think it was on Euphoria when he's like, we don't want to hear you say nigga no more. And the idea of someone being able to say nigga is not something that's inherently unique to someone that is part of African American culture, which Drake is privy to, but maybe not necessarily 1000% part of. Being Canadian, but at the end of the day, the nuance in the fact that growing up in Canada, you are effectively inundated with American content, and Drake spending his summers in America. I don't want to say it makes him just as African American, but it doesn't mean that he cannot also play in the African American cultural identity. I don't want to have this argument right now. The fact that people were calling out his blackness because he was biracial is effectively playing into the same racism that a lot of us are trying to fight against. Even Suge Knight was on my side on this one, and I don't want to say that Suge Knight and I are on the same side on many things. I don't think we'd be on the same side on the majority of things, but he he too saw it right now. For you to call out Drake's blackness for his core identity, to say that he is not black was kind of like dumb. But also it's part of like rap beef parlay, where you're trying to poke holes and play into the anxieties and the insecurities of your opponent. So in some ways it's fair ground, but when it came to this discourse between me and you and the commenters and the people that are watching, it was something that I really wasn't fucking with. I did like the Mike Jack line because Cole was realizing that he's friends with both people in this battle and just accepting that he did not need to do this because it wasn't good for anybody involved. This wasn't something that he wanted to do at all. And later on in the verse, Cole continues his discussion on identity, where he talks about his mother meeting someone new to date and him moving out of the hood and feeling uncomfortable when he goes back there, even though that is where he was from. I was talking about this with my barber, shout out to 60, where the three of them have like three separate upbringings, in the sense that Kendrick Lamar was fully raised in the hood, J. Cole was born in the hood and moved out of there when his mom met a new partner and therefore had new access and took him out of there. And it appears that Drake was just born in a middle class standard upbringing in Canada, spending his times in the summer in Memphis with his father. So who theoretically, I guess, lived in the hood. This idea, the identity of like the adjacentness to what is considered by some people to be the true African American identity, which is rooted in the ghetto, which is not the truth. Because we black people are not a monolith. And if we continue to play into those stereotypes, then you're only being subjected to the same racism that a lot of us are trying to fight. I brought that out again. Let's see if I bring it out a third time. But it's the second verse where it really picks up. Like this bar right here. I pulled the plug because I've seen where that was about to go. They wanted blood. They wanted clicks that make their pockets grow. They see this fire in my pen and think I'm dodging smoke. I would have lost the battle, dog. I would have lost a bro. I would have gained a foe. And all for what? Just to attain some mo? Props from strangers that don't got a clue what I've been aiming for. And the funniest part about this whole thing is that all of us, me, academics, Elliot Wilson, Jeremy Hecht, all of us, even Nadeska, people at the Breakfast Club, we are all eating off of this. This is content for us to talk about, for us to engage with, for us to watch and create our careers. We are part of the commentariat. We are part of the people that are commentary, right? And Cole is basically saying, for me to put a part of my identity, to put my relationships on the line, just so y'all that don't actually know me can have something to fight about, just didn't make any sense to him. And you know what? I kind of agree with that. What's the point of like jumping into the mud if you're the only person that's gonna have mud on you, and it's just us that are gonna be looking at like, look at that mud. Look at that. It looks great. It looks great. And Cole knew that it wasn't going to stay a friendly joust. I remember I said this in one of my early videos. He definitely spoke to both of them on the phone, and it was like, whoa, this is getting more serious than I thought it was going to be, and I don't want to play a part in it. Of algorithm bot niggas just trying to sway the whole thing on social media, competing for your favorable memes. And the funny thing is, I think he's talking about memes here. I think the Genius transcription is a little off, but it could also be a double entendre of favorable memes, because this battle was fought on memes. Cole has made some hay about memes before on 21 Savages a lot. It's like, y'all niggas, some niggas fake streams, other niggas make memes. But here's where the verse gets really good. To be considered the best or live and rest, the weight of both things. I understand the thirst of being first that made them both swing, protecting legacy so lines got crossed, perhaps regrettably. My friends went to war, I walked away with all they blood on me. Holy shit. The maturity here is off the charts. Real ones, let me know what y'all think, but I really feel like this bar is just incredibly powerful. It also speaks to the thinking of the entire situation and why he went out there and apologized in front of all those people in the first place. Like I just said earlier, can multiple things be true? Can it be true that J.Cole does not want to engage in a rap beef that's going to irreparably harm the two relationships that he has cultivated for the last 15 years in this game, that are effectively two other of his colleagues that have effectively walked in lockstep with him to the top of their careers, and he still be one of the greatest rappers to ever do it? Like, does rap have to be a blood sport? We don't have to answer these questions here. We can talk about this in the comments, and I'm down to like talk about this with y'all, but does it have to be a blood sport? Do we have to retrod the storylines that rap has been trotting for 30 years? Do we need another Biggie and Tupac situation? Do we need another Ice Cube versus NWA situation? Do we need another 50 Cent versus Ja Rule situation? Does it have to end in beef? Rap is competitive. It's competitive in its nature. But Is it worth ruining a relationship that you've been cultivating for 15 years just for the sake of the genre itself, the genre that you love? Can you still consider yourself the greatest ever if you're not willing to go to war for it? These are answers to questions these are questions that I don't have answers to, and I'm wondering if y'all do. But let's not forget, Tupac and Biggie started as friends, and it ended in death, effectively, if I'm correct, over miscommunication. Now, some will discredit me, try to wipe away my pedigree, but please find a nigga out that's rapping this incredibly. Yo, have you seen Cole's Future run this year? The feature that he did on Future Metro Boomin's Red Leather, the feature that he did on T Grizzlies, and yes, Grippy was a good verse. Y'all can fight me for it. Listen to it again. Grippy was a good verse. And it's like, at the end of the day, when it comes to actual raps, Cole is still rapping. He's still spitting. And then also this right here. If you refuse to shoot a gun, don't mean the gun ain't deadly. I guess in that metaphor, hypothetically, the gun is me. I text him back, guess a gun ain't what I'm trying to be, my nigga. They stripped me of my spot and now I'm finally free, my nigga. Basically, Cole saying like, yo, I didn't want any of the smoke. I didn't want this. I didn't want to do this. And I kind of see the fallacy in that statement, because is a gun deadly if it's holstered? Maybe it's not, because if you know you're not going to shoot it, you can carry the gun all you want. Then here, they say I'm picking sides, A, don't lie on me, my nigga. Then start another war, A, Drake, you'll always be my nigga. I ain't ashamed to say you did a lot for me, my nigga. And the final part of the verse is Cole effectively talking to Drake, which feels like to me that Drake is not in as good of a position as we think he is, because Cole is effectively saying like, remember, your lyrics are what got you here, so lock into that. That's what you should be focused on. He says this, tapping back into your magic pen is what's imperative. Reminding these folks why we do it. It's not for beefing, it's for speaking our thoughts, pushing ourselves, reaching the charts, reaching your minds, deep in your heart, screaming to find, emotions to touch, something inside to open you up. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And I feel like this is one of my favorite songs to come out of the beef. It's effectively an offshoot of the wider story of the Family Matters, the Euphorias, the Meet the Grams, the Push-Ups. It's an offshoot, but it was a really amazing B-plot to probably the greatest rap beefs of all time. Real ones, let me know what y'all think. I think this is absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait for J. Cole's fall off. I feel like he's more than redeemed his apology, quote unquote, and I really feel like he is still solidified as one of the top artists in the game. And if you don't think so, then maybe you weren't really that much of a fan in the first place. Anyways, it's your boy Jacques. Shout outs to the real ones. Drop a W if you made it this far. I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Just for step on niggas. Brand new F.O.S. just for step on niggas.